Hiya and welcome to the Season 2 finale of Seriously Good TV. You might be wondering, where's Chloe? Well, it's my pleasure to introduce Millie. Hello! She'll hopefully be staying with us for the future episodes. That's if she does well today, so no pressure. And we also have Maddie, who will be helping us behind the scenes and being our stage manager and director. Anyway, how are you, Millie?
I'm doing well, thank you. How are you?
I'm good, thanks. So tell us, how did you get involved with Seriously Good TV?
Well, it was actually Maddie who introduced me to Sirius because her sister had actually done presenting before.
Oh, okay.
And they recommended it to me, which was like a godsend.
Yeah. Yeah, nice. So do you want to introduce what's coming up in today's show?
Of course. Coming up in tonight's show, we will explore the world of classic cars. Lucas Goes to the Movies is back, where he shall be discussing various new films and the deep dive into the world of Stansted Airport.
So first, we're taking a look at the world of classic cars. Studio, roll the VT.
Hello everyone and welcome back. So we are here today with Christian, who is an owner of a classic car that we looked at, which you will see very later on. We talk about the history of it. Well, we'll talk about the history of it now, but we can see where it's progressed to. Now see it where it is a couple of years ago. That's why I'm back, of course, because the time that we filmed the VT was in 2019, I believe. So that's why I am back here. Hello again. So, Christian, it's very nice to meet you. How long have you been into classic cars then?
Well, I've been in classic cars since my sort of late teens. My father had a couple of garages, and when I left school, I had to work in the workshops. So I was repairing cars that were, probably from the, mid to late 70s, and that's how I got into it. It's the old mechanics that I still find interesting today.
Yeah. So it's like your father kind of in like that family side of things kind of like made you become who you are today, pretty much.
That's right. Yeah, repairing cars, and I also live on a farm, and you get into repairing things, and I like mechanical things, really.
Yeah, lovely, awesome.
So, like, is it a good hobby for like people, especially like our age? Is it a good hobby to get into?
I think so. Classic cars are readily available, online and everything, and the skills in repairing them are getting lost. So it is a really good hobby. The classics from the 80s and 90s are really coming on board now. They're not too expensive, a lot of them, and it's great fun.
Yeah, it does sound like a really interesting hobby, especially when you're looking at the history behind it as well, which again we'll get onto later. Do you have any interesting cars you worked with recently? I'm assuming you've got like one story. I mean, you can talk about the story that our boss Nick, who many series members might know, Nick also came to you at one point. What was his story about?
Yeah, I mean, Nick and I were at school together and great friends.
Yeah.
I was working in the workshops when I left school, and we had an old MGB GT that was broken down and pulled in off the M25, in actual fact. And my father, the chap wanted to sell it. My father bought it as a non-runner, and we used it in the workshops as a sort of what we call a hospital job, is when, that it's quiet, it gets repaired slowly over months, even years. Nick saw it and really liked it and wanted to buy it. So we sort of like pushed on with its sort of repair and restoration. And I worked on that car a lot. Yeah, it was really good fun, and I enjoyed it.
Love it. Yeah, it's also really cool how you guys are friends, and then he's come to you and wanted this the car from you, and that's just friends bonding over something together, eh?
That's right. Yeah, exactly.
Okay, so how hard is it to get hold of these classic cars nowadays?
Not at all. There's quite a few online auctions for classic cars. One that springs to mind is Bangers and Cash, which is on Discovery, and you can watch them. It's all about buying and selling classic cars. You can find them on eBay, and a lot of them are quite cheap,
Yeah, lots of places to find them. That's wonderful news. I mean, yeah, it's such an interesting thing, especially those 90s cars are really interesting and becoming the classic cars to get, and I find that really interesting because I love the look of them and stuff like that. It's one of the first actual classic cars that I actually look at that and I'm like, wow, that's a very good looking car. I'd be actually interested in getting that. That's wonderful. What are your thoughts on electric cars becoming the norm because of the rules and regulations, and by 2050 we're not going to have these types of cars coming around, and we're going to lower all this other stuff? What are your thoughts there as a classic car kind of owner?
For me, it's a concern because having a classic car, its engine is such a huge part of its makeup. The noise and the smell, and the feeling when you drive it. There's companies out there that are now electrifying classic cars. So there are options should you not be able to get fuel in the future. To me, it's a bit of a shame, but if that's the way things go and you have to do it, then that's great. But it would take away some of the enjoyment of a classic car. It's not just about how something looks; it's about it's how it drives and how it feels.
Yeah, absolutely. I have a question though. Are you interested? So for you personally, would you put in an electric engine for your cars, or are you kind of against that if you actually had to?
I've never had to put an electric motor in a car. If I had to do it, I would. You wouldn't throw the engine away. You'd have the engine sat in the corner of the garage, looking all nice. It just wouldn't be in the car, but it's still part of it. It's part of the car and part of its history. It's how it was made. Yeah. A big thing about cars is what they call matching numbers. So the car has the same engine that it came out of the factory with, and that's quite important to classic car drivers. So yeah, you know, if that's the future, that's the way it's going to be.
Yeah.
I guess it's like a shame that the car won't be the same, but it's good there is a future for these classic cars.
Yeah.
And like speaking about the future, are you excited for what it will bring for like classic cars?
Yes, it's good that they'll carry on, you know, because there are options available to you. As I said before, to me it's a shame if you wouldn't be able to get fuel and the government wouldn't have some discrepancy, and you know, there's a future with using fuel, but you know, it's a double-edged sword.
Yeah, absolutely, yeah. And yeah, I mean, I'm assuming that the government will put something in because, especially for some sorts of cars, I mean, they're essentially there's so much history, so much culture behind some of these things. Speaking of the history of cars, we looked at one of the cars that was renovated and transformed back to a brand newer form that you owned, which we'll see very shortly. But you put together, I believe, some information about this. Did you find this yourself, or was it like given to you by other people? Like, how did you find all this like newspaper articles and all these different, I mean, all this stuff about your car?
Yes, I mean, that came to light during its restoration. The car started out as a three-wheeler Morgan F4.
Yeah.
And it was actually the show car at Earl's Court at the motorcycle sidecar show.
Yeah.
I've no doubt during its life, it deteriorated, and in the 50s, originally a Morgan F4 would have had a wood mesh frame to support the bodywork. It probably rotted away, and as you got in some of the photos there, it was converted into what they call a special racer, which when it was stripped down, and it was changed from a little four-seater three-wheeler to a little racer.
Yeah. What makes a car a special car? What does it need to become a special?
A special is when someone takes the car and converts it from its original form.
So it became a race car. Did it apparently won trophies? Did it win many trophies? Was it a very successful car?
As far as I'm aware, that's the only trophy it won. I've no doubt it was sort of amateur racing kind of thing, and a lot of those images are from Silverstone in the 50s, and I think they used to do amateur time trials during those days, and three-wheeler cars and motorcycles used to race together.
And then how did it become from being a racer into your possession?
My father bought it in 1967 off a local man for the pricely sum of £75,
yes.
And it sat in a garage for nearly 50 years until I took the decision to restore it. You know, my father's getting on, and I thought it'd be nice for him to see it. So had it restored by EAB Classics.
Yeah, I forgot the name. What is the people that restored your car?
EAB Classics.
EAB Classics, that's the one. Yeah, because that's the people that we went to go see. Because we went to go talk to them about, when we went behind the car, we went and gave it a little bit of a rev. We enjoyed the noise it made, the smell. It's a wonderful car, which you'll be able to see in this next video now with us, me and Taz, a couple of years ago, just having a look around the car. So let's just roll the video right now.
Right, well here it is, ready and gleaming to go. 1935 build. We were asked to restore it. The first question was, how do we restore it? Do we restore it back to its original form as a four-seater car, or as in its current form? The owner elected to keep the story true to the car. So we then embarked on lots of research, taking everything apart very carefully to make sure that when we do restore it, we are as honest to the car as we could possibly be.
But before you go, don't forget to like, comment and subscribe, and push that notification bell to see more.
So we just saw the video on how the car was a couple of years ago, but how's the car doing nowadays?
Yeah, it's fine. I haven't used it at all this year, really, because the weather's been, so bad. But yeah, no, it sits in a dehumidified garage. It's not the nicest car to drive, being so old, kind of thing. But yeah, no, I take it out occasionally, and it's really good fun.
Oh, nice. Okay, well, thank you for joining us today, and thanks for your time and explaining about the history of this car. Yeah, so now we're going to go back to the studio.
Back to the studio.
Okay, so we are now joined by Lucas, who's going to be doing his film reviewing. So yeah, how are you, Lucas?
I'm doing alright myself.
That's good, good.
Perfect. And the first movie we have is Fast and Furious 9. So what is it about?
Basically, Don Toretto, played by Vin Diesel, well, he's basically playing himself, so it's Vin Diesel playing Vin Diesel. Him and his crew must stop these terrorists, I think, or just these bad guys, and one of them turns out to be his brother, played by John Cena, and so family collides. That's really the plot.
Now, here's the real question that I think everyone wants to know. Do you think they're dragging it along?
Absolutely, I do.
Oh.
Recently, I rewatched the first film, which is completely different because it's actually about street racing. It's really good, actually.
Yeah.
Definitely. But do you like them?
Yeah, I do. No matter how ridiculous I get, I will watch one. Okay, next image. Here's some images. Wow, that's a low quality one. So here's some photos from the film. Next image. Here's one with John Cena and Vin Diesel. Next one. And here's them, another low quality, holding a gun on each other. This is just how normal families act. Next film, I guess.
Yeah, okay, so the
Next image.
next film is Freaky.
Yes.
Yeah, what's this film about?
Basically, it's set between the dates of Wednesday the 11th and Friday the 13th.
Okay, yeah.
And Vince Vaughn over here plays a serial killer. Well, Catherine Newton plays your typical high school girl, and it's basically they swap bodies, so it's like Freaky Friday, and it's just 24 hours to swap bodies back. Otherwise, they'll be stuck in that form. Next image.
Oh, nice, that sounds like a good film. So, is it funny?
Yes, actually, I found it quite amusing. like while I,
Yeah, I get you.
Next image.
So would you recommend this to horror fans?
Yes, however, it isn't very scary, but it does have a lot of good kills. My favourite kill has to be with a saw, and some guy gets his body cut through with it.
Oh,
Nice.
yeah, nice.
My least favourite kill is one with a chainsaw because it happens off screen, and off screen kills are not as interesting because, well, you don't see them happen. Next image.
You want to see it?
This is the stars of the very film, Vince Vaughn, and he basically when the high school girl gets transferred into Vince Vaughn's body, Vince Vaughn is one of the best parts of it because he does act like your stereotypical high school girl. I don't know anything about him, so I'm just taking off stereotypes from films, my mistake. And so that's what works about the film because he does seem like an actual person interacting with other high schoolers. Next image and next film. Next film is Monster Hunter.
Like you said, we have Monster Hunters next. And
Next
what
image.
is it about?
Monster Hunter is about a military group, her being the leader. They get transported to another world full of monsters. All of her crew dies, and then he meets this guy who she does not understand a word she's saying. However, they become friends through through basically non-verbal language, and they become close friends. She must try and get home. Next image.
Would it appeal to the fans of the games?
Some not. Because it isn't very accurate to the game. There aren't a lot of monsters. Like this one, is the main monster they hunt throughout the movie. And also CGI is quite nice. Next image. Ron Perlman's in this movie. I love Ron Perlman. He's the voice. Ron Perlman's going to be in he's going to be in the upcoming Transformers film as Optimus Prime, which is going to be awesome because Ron Perlman kicks bum. Next question.
Do you have any fun facts about
The
it?
film is banned in China
Oh, really? Why?
because there was a pattern movie between knees and Chinese, so it was pulled a day after it came out.
Really?
Yeah.
Probably would stir up some
Next
controversy.
image.
Okay, so yeah, the next movie is John Wick, and I see you've actually brought the
Yes.
DVD with you.
My own copy of the first two films on Blu-ray.
So yeah, what's this movie about?
Next image. All right. Basically, John Wick plays. No, Keanu Reeves plays. That's Keanu Reeves as John Wick. He plays a hitman, and sometime after his wife dies, he gets a dog in the mail from his wife. However, after getting some mafia people mad, they kill the dog and steal his car.
That's so unfair, the poor dog.
Oh yeah, it is. They don't show you the dog dying.
Yeah.
You just hear it.
I know dogs' deaths in movies are way sadder than
for some
people.
reason, yeah,
100%.
that's just how films are.
Yeah.
And so now he must take revenge by killing a bunch of people. Next
Yeah,
image.
as he should.
Okay, so what is the best action scene?
Probably that's good. I don't know really. It's a very hard question. They're all so very good.
Yeah.
So I have no answer.
Overall,
Next
good watch
question.
then. So, would
Next
you recommend this?
Next image. Yes, I would actually. I recommend you see all of them. This is just a Blu-ray of the first two, but I recommend you check out all three of them. And it's got a fourth film coming out soon. Well, next year I think. They're currently filming it.
Nice.
Next image.
And finally, my favourite, I'm very excited for this one, Black Widow. Now,
The next-
without any spoilers, what is it about?
Basically, Scarlett Johansson plays Black Widow, and she's trying to take down the Red Room. She's trying to bring it down, and she reunites her family, played by Florence Pugh. Thank you. And she reconnects with family. Next image, and he has to face the Taskmaster while at it. Next question.
How does it tie with the Marvel Universe?
That is it is set between Captain America: Civil War and Avengers: Infinity War. Well, you get a few mentions of the Sokovia Accords, which is time for a bit of backstory. The Sokovia Accords are basically a United States government paper, like file thing, basically saying that all superheroes, like Iron Man, Spider-Man, that the government must know who they are. However, in Captain America: Civil War, characters like Black Widow, Captain America, and a few others, they say no to it, and that so doing that. And David Harbour is in this movie as Red Guardian. Next question.
Do you have a favourite character?
Red Guardian, I love him. It's just David Harbour acting like a dad, and that's why I love him. Also, Scarlett Johansson's amazing in the film.
Of course.
It's amazing.
Yeah.
Very excited for that.
Okay, so most importantly, can you rank these movies from your favourite to the least favourite?
Oh, of course I can. Number 1 is Black Widow. Number 2 is John Wick. Number 2 is Freaky. Number 3 is John Wick. Number 4 is Monster Hunter. And number 5 is Fast and Furious 9.
Very cool.
Perfect.
Yeah. So, thank you for joining us today. Is there anything else you'd like to say?
There are a bunch of movies coming out this summer, and I recommend you check out at least one of them. There's, like, for example, Suicide Squad comes out July 30th. It should be very exciting. There's going to be Idris Elba, Peter Capaldi, John Cena. Sylvester Stallone plays a shark called King Shark.
Nice.
Wonderful.
Basically, it's going to be really good. And Taika Waititi's going to be in it. We don't know who he is yet. And it's directed by James Gunn.
Very fun.
Yeah,
His Space Jam movie comes out next week. Watch it. That's all I have to say.
Wonderful.
It's been lovely being here.
Yeah,
It's been lovely to have you. We look forward to doing more when we come back in September.
Yeah. Okay.
Thanks for having me.
Yeah, it's cool. So now you're going back behind the camera, and we now have the joy to
See you later.
introducing back Elliot, who should be joining us in just a moment. Hiya.
Hello, how are you guys doing?
Yeah.
All good?
Good.
Lovely.
How are you?
I'm doing great. It's funny to be back in front of the camera again.
Must be.
Yeah,
I mean,
yeah.
It's nice to see you in front of a camera now.
No
And
pressure.
of course, so got Georgia. Just chilling. How are you doing today? You alright?
Yeah, I'm good, thank you. Yeah.
Lovely to hear it. Lovely to hear
So
it.
you're back here to talk about the Stanton shoot, one of the first shoots you did with Seriously Good TV, if I'm correct.
Yeah. So it was legit like one of the first ones. When we said we were going to do this, I completely forgot about it because like it was a total blast from the past because you weren't part of Serious yet,
No.
and you definitely weren't part of Serious yet. But yeah, we had like, it was back in Felsted, Nick had hired out this like room, and we had like these like this whiteboard, and it had all these different sheets of all these different kind of topics that we wanted to go through. I mean, some being quite funny, most of them you've probably already seen that are up right now. And then we had some more serious ones, such as sex trafficking, which is a really like, you know, kind of a big issue that we wanted to cover. So we had the lovely opportunity of coming along to Stansted to be educated a bit more and just showcase all the stuff that's going on there.
Yeah. So, like, why did you end up choosing this project?
Well, we decided to go with this project because, you know, sex trafficking is definitely something that isn't very known, and I think many of the people there also know that, which I'll probably get onto later with the people, and also which you will probably see later on. They are very, you know, especially in like schools and like, because I don't know how much you guys know, but like for our age range, sex trafficking is really spoken about. There's many topics that have been spoken about a lot, but sex trafficking is really one of them.
Needs more coverage.
Yeah, exactly. I don't know why that. I think it is because of like our age range and not being mature enough, not being responsible. I don't know yet. Maybe it's because it's like out of our control, but yet still, we still need to, at some point in our lives, we need to be educated about it.
Most definitely.
Yeah.
Well, I had a sneak peek at the VT, and I saw you had a lot of talks with like quite a few group of ladies. What was that all about?
So I'm assuming you're talking about Angie, and Angie had her colleague who was from Sweden as well, which we'll see in the interview. Wonderful people, lovely people. Love to get to know them, like, and just like speak to them a lot more. Angie, I'm pretty sure she goes and wants to just like, again, wants to like spread the word like us about sex trafficking. There's, I mean, FGM as well, and all this other kind of stuff that goes on with it. She wants to go from like schools to schools and basically educate younger people, which is definitely, I think, like we said, something that needs to happen.
Definitely. Also, can we just address that you look very much younger in the videos?
Yes, of course, yeah.
Must have been a long time ago, huh?
I mean, I did look a bit ridiculous because Nick said to wear something smart, and I didn't have anything smart. So if you look at it, just ignore it, please. Just please ignore it. But it was a very long time ago, but I remember it very well. We did lots of things there, like as well as sex trafficking things. We also had an interview with the police. One of our friends from series, Emily, her father, I'm pretty sure, was the person that we interviewed about it, and he kind of toured us around, looked after us the entire day. And we also went into like the police like building, and then inside the police building in the airport, they had like, I mean, it was kind of sick. But I mean, it's a very serious thing, but it's pretty sick, right? You got like, I mean, you got like all these like rows of guns, right?
Oh my god!
And then,
no, not for me.
I mean, some people there look kind of terrified.
I'd be completely intimidated.
Yeah, there were quite a few guns, and then he was kind of like, you know, had the tasers as well. And then, like, right in front of my face, I had the taser going off, and I was like, Jesus Christ.
Just be careful what you say around them.
I was kind of terrified, because I'm like, that could knock me out in, like, 1 second, because I'm quite weak. But, apart from that, I mean, lovely people, and it was really interesting, like, their kind of perspective, as well as their kind of perspective on sex trafficking as well. But, it was a lovely experience.
Nice.
Yeah.
And, hopefully, the VT shall be coming up, which will give us a short little kind of shrunken down kind of view of our entire day. So, studio, can you please roll the VT?
Hello guys, I'm Layla. We're here today with Lottie, Lacey, Elliot, Amelie and Yolanda. We'll be with the police talking about FGM, which is female genital mutilation, and we'll be learning about that ourselves in a briefing with the police. Then we'll move forward onto an operation with the police on child trafficking and just how to spot the signs of it. Then we'll be going off to the departures gate and handing out leaflets to the public just to make them aware of it and ourselves. That was a good one. Yeah, respect.
Okay guys, so we just finished up at the terminal over there, and now we're going to go over to the Enterprise House. Now the Enterprise House is where the police station is, this is where we're going to have our briefing, this is where we're going to talk about FGM with the social care person, and Amelie's now going to take it away and talk to us more about what's going to happen in the briefing and what we're going to do for the rest of the day.
So we're outside the police station now, and we're going to go in and have a briefing on FGM, and we have a specialist from Sweden who's come to talk to us, so hopefully it should be really good.
Because what exists between our legs is unclean. so it must be removed and sealed up as proof of virginity and virtue.
And first of all, I would like to thank Fiona and Potsy. It's an absolute pleasure to be here to do a delivery on honour-based violence, forced marriage and female genital mutilation. Something very important to me and certainly a huge safeguarding issue.
Hi guys, it's Lottie and Layla. We're here with Angie and Katrina to talk about FGM, honour-based violence and forced marriages. So obviously we've met you both already, but could you explain a little bit about who you are and what you do to anybody watching at home?
Okay, I'm Angie Marriott. I'm a long-term standing campaigner for FGM. I've been involved for 35 years. I have my own company, Diversity Employment Solutions, and I'm a diversity consultant and nurse. I work with the police, statutory agencies and NGOs and all FGM survivors, forced marriage survivors.
Yes, my name is Katarina Idegård and I'm from the city of Gothenburg. I work as a coordinator and development leader on honour-based violence in Gothenburg. And I'm improving the work in our city, and I also developed coordination with different authorities.
Brilliant, thank you.
My role here is as an armed response sergeant. I supervise a team of 10 armed officers, and we're responsible for providing security to the airport and the aviation industry.
If you suspect that someone is a part of human trafficking as just a member of the public, how would you be able to help them out in that situation?
If we're looking at somebody we suspect of being a victim, then we have a nationally recognised referral mechanism that works with Border Force, that works with social services, that works with support agencies. So with the consent of the person who is the victim, if they're going to remain in this country, we can make a referral to those agencies who can then put a wraparound service around them to support them with housing, welfare, social needs and any investigation.
So I think it's safe to say that we all had an amazing day. We spoke about FGM and we learned about forced marriage. I think we've got a lot to talk about when we head back to the studio.
Bye.
See you later.
Bye. Goodbye, guys. Bye.
That's a wrap.
And finally, the Deputy Head of the Media Department has set us up with this green screen challenge. The challenge is for us to choose from 5 costumes to fit 4 scenarios. After this, Elliot and Lucas will judge us based on a number of criteria.
Woo! Yeah, criteria! We love criteria! Woo!
Woo!
Yeah!
We love judging!
We love judging! Me and Lucas are going to judge you.
Judah, leave.
Whenever you're ready.
Get behind that.
Try like...
Yes, I'm very excited to watch this, guys. I don't know what's really going on. I'm just going to judge you on it.
Thank you.
I'm ready. Do your thing, and I will watch from this wonderful TV.
Fairly.
Exactly.
Yeah, fairness.
All right. So whenever them guys are ready over there, we will watch
ready.
this. I'm very excited then. All right.
That's stressful.
Oh my god.
Philip, oh dear Philip!
Oh no.
Where are my corgis? Oh, where are my corgis? Is this right? Oh, I sounded. Oh.
Nice.
There's wires everywhere! Cowabunga!
Nice.
Oh my god!
Oh, nice. That's great.
Quick thinking. Yeah, going down a ski slope. I think. Not for long.
Whoa!
You did your best, and that's all I can ask.
That is lovely.
It's bleeding stressful.
That was brilliant. I love that.
Breath.
That was
It's the
beautiful.
most exercise I've done in a long time.
Love it. I love that.
I think walking here was the most exercise I've done in a long time.
We will now be swapping over.
Oh, okay.
Georgia is going to take my place.
See, I had like, you were saying about like how I wasn't going to be able to see the pictures, so I wouldn't know what was coming, but I could hear everything. So I actually have a good idea here what was coming.
Okay, yeah. Well, let's see.
Oh, this is like stressful.
It is. Dara, you got this. Just don't overthink it. You got this. I believe in you. Have faith.
Thank you.
May the
Go on, Georgia.
May the people in the editing room start.
Guys, they got it. They got it. I believe in them. I have faith in them. I'm very excited for this, though.
Oh dear.
If it goes as well as you did, wonderful. All right, here we go.
Brilliant. Oh, this is intense.
Go on, Georgia.
What you'd say is like a royal person.
Yeah, nice.
Yeah. Oh.
That's what I know about them anyway.
Egypt, go.
Oh, what am I doing with this?
I don't know.
Brilliant. Oh, my earpiece just fell out. Brilliant. Off to a great start. Just be like. Oh,
Nice.
this is like really intense. Oh, look, we can go straight for this. It's fine. This is like swimming. I would love to be at the beach right now.
Beautiful swimming, Georgia.
Oh, no, it's great. Oh, I'm meant to be skiing. Cold in it. Very cold. Like really cold. I went to skiing in the cold like mountains, you know. Just setting the scene here.
Love that.
Beautiful.
Look at that.
Brilliant.
Lovely. Wow. What a performance.
Now we must judge.
What a performance. Wow. But can I just first say, a wonderful amount of effort has been put in by you guys. I can definitely tell.
Thank you.
You both done really well.
Are you both out of breath?
Yes.
There's like dramatic.
So
Yeah.
me and Ellie need a minute to think about who we think
course.
won.
Okay, right. So, both pretty creative. I can tell that they both put in effort because they're both panting. So, that easily puts in the effort to a 5 out of 5. So we love that. Creativity. You both did decently. You both worked pretty fast to figure out what was what. You both picked up the same things a couple of times.
Yeah.
Pretty smashing job there. Well, how do you want to do this? Do you want to do your vote and then my vote?
Yeah, sure.
Okay, so who do you think should win?
Oh, who do I think should win?
You think Millie should win?
Thank
Wow.
you.
Okay.
Thank you.
Wow. So I can either leave it as a tie, or I can.
I
give it a
say
winner.
Millie wins just because
Yeah,
she's
no.
snowboarding one. She
And to be
did-
fair, I
she
give this to
did
Millie
best.
because I
She
could
did
hear
best.
it.
I say
Definitely
thank
was
you.
more in character. I was just setting the scene. I was there.
You
I
set a
think-
beautiful scene, Georgia.
Thank
Just
you.
because of the fact that, because not gonna lie, some of yours was kind of like dancing.
Yeah. I was just like,
Especially
in
when
the
I was
moment.
the ring one, you were just going like this.
Yeah, it's just like, just breathing along.
For me, it has to be Millie as well. So
Okay.
congratulations, Millie.
Thank you.
For that-
I really feel like I've hit an all-time high in my life.
So, what do we say now to the audience at home?
Yeah, thank you very much, Lucas. We can't wait to see more of your film reviews over the summer. And thank you, Elliot, for joining us and telling us about the stunts to shoot.
No worries.
And thank you guys for watching at home, and I hope you have an amazing summer. So yeah, see ya.
Bye.
Bye.
Bye. Bye. Bye.